Former President Obama makes bizarre excuse for evangelical Hispanics voting Trump, ignoring illegals in cages, trumps racism. Daily Wire reporting. This story is brought to you by Amanda Prestiginaco. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Hey guys, it's Patricia Venice here. Um, yeah, keeping on the schedule, one video a week, or at least that's kind of how it's working right now. I mean, I plan to do more in the future, but as of right now, it's complicated with my work and everything else I'm doing. Also, again, no webcam. I lost the cord. Embarrassed to say. I'll find it hopefully by the next episode. So, as the story suggests, former President Obama, you know, recently gave a speech, describing why Hispanic people in Florida somehow broke away from the Democratic Party and wanted to end up voting for President Trump in the previous election for Donald Trump. As the recount states, Obama on Breakfast Club, you've seen him created in Republican politics, the sense of white males are victims, which obviously don't give. With both history, data, and economics, how you unwind, that's not going to be some way that is done right way. There are a lot of evangelical Hispanics who the fact that Trump says racist things about Mexicans or puts undocumented workers in cages, they think that's less important than the fact that he supports their views on gay marriage or abortion. Now, former President Obama, that could not be any falser to the narrative. Do you know why Joe Biden didn't do well with Hispanics in Florida? I can tell you one thing. It's Kamala Harris, the most left-winged politician in America aside from Bernie Sanders. And she's preaching the glories of socialism and all these government programs. Do you know who lives in Florida? Cubans. What did Cubans fly from? Oh, right. Communism in Cuba. And they know it all too well. Venezuela knows it all too well. All these places that you bring up, all these countries had these mass exoduses of people fleeing communism. Florida has a high population of Cubans and Venezuelans, especially in Miami. And as a famous American once said, will the last American Miami please bring the American flag? Miami is dominated. And yeah, if you look at the electoral map, they still voted blue, but they lost so much margin, comparatively. The Democrats screwed themselves having Kamala Harris picked. If Joe Biden had picked a moderate or any other person, Miami would have been dark blue. And I guarantee you, quite a few other places in Florida would have done that too. The problem is, you have Kamala Harris as the vice president, and Joe Biden himself said he's a transitional figure. I'm sorry, former President Obama. They don't care about the gay marriage or abortion. I know so many Hispanics who are pro-gay marriage and are pro-abortion. My girlfriend, who's Cuban, she's fairly moderate on some of those views. In fact, she fully supports gay marriage, and she's pretty okay with abortion. It's absolutely ridiculous. And President Obama, your administration is the one who built the cages that the children are in. Everyone's always saying, Donald Trump put kids in cages. Well, Joe Biden, President Obama, who built those fucking cages? I'm sorry. It's absolutely ridiculous. The fact that you can go around pretending that this is something like, oh, this is only for Trump. This is only a Trump problem. Racism is horrible. It shouldn't exist, but it is. And the First Amendment allows it to happen, so it's okay to be there. I don't like it. I think people who say racist things should get in trouble, or at least, have the social or the public ire. But racism exists, and it's unfortunate. Donald Trump is not a racist against Hispanics. He's a old guy who thinks he knows things that will get people to like him. Like when he did the taco bowl for, what was it? I think Mexican Heritage Day or something like that. It was a meme. He's like, yes, I love the Hispanic community. Oh, taco bowl, taco salad. I love it. Ha ha. That's funny. It's stupid, but it's funny. I don't see racist acts. Donald Trump put on a no-fly list from certain countries with large terrorist populations. That's unfortunate that a lot of people can't go to the U.S. from it, but it's a safety risk. Now, if you told me that he's banning all Muslims from getting on a plane, yeah, that's racist and that's unconstitutional. But he didn't do that. He banned specific countries. Just like we don't allow flights from North Korea, and we don't allow flights that aren't ours from Tehran. It's ridiculous to think this. I'm sorry, it's absolutely a joke. It has nothing to do that Hispanics are against abortion or gay marriage. Maybe in the older community of the Hispanics it is, and that's fine. It's the fact that you want to defund the police, where there's high crime rates in Miami and Miami-Dade. It's the fact that these people are promoting active socialism to Cubans and Venezuelans. I know people who lost people in Cuba, people who disappeared in the middle of the night in Cuba. I know people who went to jail cells and were leached dry of their blood to go and support the Angolans in the Angola Civil War. It's absolutely disgusting. Cuba is a human rights hellhole. It doesn't exist. Venezuela, same thing. These two countries are basically the scum of the Americas, and they do everything in their power to ruin the rest of the world with their socialist and communist thought and ability. Don't get me wrong. Baptista was horrible before Castro. But Castro didn't make it better. Everyone always says, oh, the literacy rate went up from 20 or 75% to I think 80 or 90%. That's incredible. Cuba was already on par to being the highest in the Caribbean and on a higher rate than the rest of South America at that point. The only place that had higher was the USA and Canada. Like, look, did Castro attempt to do something good? I think he tried to, but going around with Che Guevara and his brother Raul going around murdering people in the countryside who they didn't like. I mean, Che Guevara hated gay people. Che Guevara hated black people. Che Guevara hated anything that he couldn't have. And these people were not good people. Did they have good intentions? Probably. But let's not pretend that it's, Hispanics are all of a sudden going to vote Republican en masse. That'd be great if they did, because they'd finally be voting against the socialists in the Democratic Party. But it's openly the fact. I know so many Democrats who voted for Trump this time who were all Hispanic because they couldn't stand Kamala Harris and they're scared of Bernie Sanders getting a position in labor or, some in the labor department or God knows anywhere else. It's not people that are the problem here, Brock. It's Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and yourself. You built the cages. You put the kids in the cages. Then you had the audacity to stand up here like you had nothing to do with it. And that's disgusting. It's wrong. It's gross. And Brock, I liked you the first time you got in the office. I couldn't vote at the time, but I absolutely thought, I hope this guy brings about good change, and I think he will. First black president. It's going to be great. Boy, I was wrong. All you did was palm children in Afghanistan and Iraq and Syria and Libya. It's gross. It's wrong. And I don't know where you're getting this delusional worldview from.